Top of the morning to you, everyone. Welcome to yet another edition of your Darling Outlook, State of the State, on this channel, where we take a cursory look at the issues having to do with the state of affairs in the Nigerian state and, of course, Ondo State. Today, we'll be focusing more on Ondo State, and specifically, we'll be starting the conversation from the vote of confidence that was set to be passed on the governor of Ondo State by members of the State Executive Council recently. It's not the prerogative of any arm of government to do that. That will form part of our conversation on the program this morning. Joining me in the conversation is the Senior Special Assistant to Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu on special duties and strategy, Dr. Doyin Odebowale. It's nice to have you join me on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Also here with me on the program is a journalist, a publisher, and analyst, Mr. Dice Editorami. It's good to have you join me on the program.
It's my pleasure, thanks.
All right, let's start with the issue of this vote of confidence. And I'd like to start with you, Dr. Odebowale. What exactly should have necessitated that vote of confidence, especially coming from those who are appointees of Governor Akeredolu? Was there a rumored vote of no confidence in the first place that necessitated the public display of vote of confidence on the governor?
Well, I thank you. I don't want to waste my time over a non-issue. It's a non-issue. I say so with all respect that, of course, we shouldn't waste our time on this and we should concentrate on better issues. You know, the tragedy of the current experimentation that we all call democracy today is that most of those we have around are blatantly ignorant people. Pardon my language. They don't understand anything. They don't understand anything, and of course, they over-assume that they know when they don't know.
Who are these they?
And I'm talking about those who must have signed any document talking about, look, whoever appoints can disappoint. Mm-hmm. If I appoint you, I can remove you with or without any reasons. It's about hire and fire. Mm-hmm. Your appointment does not enjoy any statutory flavor.
Very well.
So why do you want to waste your time over a non-issue? And I don't think that they said vote of confidence. Because I didn't bother myself about that. It's a non-issue, as I've told you. And this is the first time I'll be discussing it. I thought if I had known that this is what you are doing, I wouldn't have wasted my petrol, because I paid a lot for it. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have wasted my petrol. There are better issues to discuss than this.
You are a lawyer. That's why I'm asking you that question from the point of legality.
Anybody who was appointed, not because you are the best in this state. You are a commissioner, you are not the best. You are a special advisor, you are a special assistant, you are not the best. You must have been appointed based on political considerations and whatever. Mm-hmm. Even ethnicity. Nepotism and all of this. So who are you? It's an insult. It is an insult on the people of the state for anyone to wake up. Who are you to pass a vote of confidence? Are you in the House of Assembly? Are you the representative of the people? You are a mere appointee whose services can be dispensed with without notice. So why are you wasting your time? And as you said, this would suggest that was there any time when anybody said that there was no confidence in Mr. Akeredolu?
This is coming at a time when rumors arrive that the State Executive Council is not in unison. So people coming to now say they're passing vote of confidence might really be fueling that insinuation. That's what I'm asking you. If there's still unity in the EXCO.
You should have brought them. You should have brought them to come, and those who signed that document. It is ludicrous. And I say this with all sense of responsibility. The best way to show that you support the man who has appointed you is through performance. It's through performance. If you are working, nobody will even want to know whether the governor is around or the governor has not attended your wedding party or your burial ceremony. Because I think that is what is missing now.
Because you agree performance is missing in the governance?
No, I've not said that.
I just wanted to clarify.
I'm saying that if you perform, that if you, the best way through which you can pass your vote of confidence or whatever you call it, is through your performance.
Okay.
I come to your station anytime you call me.
Very well.
I go to other people. I speak to people,
via the telephone.
Even Zoom. Why do they call me? Am I the only appointee? At the time, it looked as if I was the only one talking around. So it would now appear as if it was something personal against Donyode Bali and some other persons. Because they kept quiet. By day, I mean these commissioners, these special, they kept quiet. They kept quiet. At a time, anywhere you drove through in Akure, the state capital, was almost overtaken by debris and grass, full-grown grass. And you have a Minister of Environment. No commissioner has said that he or she has not received his or her salary. No commissioner has been denied of running grants. So what exactly is the issue? That's what I'm saying. It's a non-issue. It's a non-issue. If you have not been discharging your duties as a commissioner, there's your problem. It is you who should come out to account for your stewardship. It's not the other way around. It's a non, as I'm concerned, it's a non-issue. You can't be behaving as if, who are you?
Your point is well made, Dr. Debowale. I'll come back to you. Let me quickly have the view of Mr. Adetorami on the issue. As a journalist, I understand seeing that document, and then you want to cast a headline for that kind of a story. The first thing to come to your mind will be the passing vote of confidence. Am I right? Very well. So then, what does it speak to performance indicators? Just as Dr. Debowale also did say, is it suggesting lack of unison in the executive? For instance, the signature of the deputy governor as the vice chair of that executive council was not there. 2 commissioners also abstained from signing that document. So what does it speak?
Well, with our sense of responsibility, the concept vote of confidence or vote of no confidence, I think you only see this thing in the parliamentary system of government. And I believe we are practicing presidential system of government, both at the federal and state levels in Nigeria. So as far as the Constitution of Nigeria is concerned today, it revolves around presidential system of government. When they talk about vote of no confidence in parliamentary system, it's a way that the legislature that are part of the party that the prime minister is also a member, it's a way of bringing on board checks and balances. But in presidential system of government, you do not see executive wanting to pass vote of confidence or vote of no confidence on their principal, in the sense that he appointed them, he has the power to hire and fire, and if he chooses to retain you or not to retain you, you do not have any power whatsoever to say you are publicly coming to pass a vote of confidence or otherwise on your principal. But I want to believe that what we just saw as far as that is concerned in Ondo State is a case that is very rampant in Nigeria. People wanting to play to the gallery, people wanting to do eye service, so to say. If, just like Dr. Debowale did say, if you want to pass a vote of confidence, in quotes, on your principal, I think the best way to do it is to redouble your effort, on your deliverables, on the mandate given to you as far as your ministry or parastatal is concerned. So, maybe it is the nomenclature that he used that is bad, because as I said, anybody who want to say, well, my principal is performing, and to that extent, I want to say kudos to him. But if you call it vote of confidence, it's very, very contradictory. It's inimical to the spirit and letters of presidential system. You don't use such clause or such adjective in a presidential system of government. And just like I said, people may just want to play to the gallery to let the governor know that so people are still behind him, or so people are in solidarity with him.
Well, it was unnecessary in any case. Maybe we should also know that.
When I read it, because I didn't know about it until I saw the thing, I think it was the people who wanted to make nonsense of that nonsense that actually twisted the whole thing. And they came from the deputy governor's camp. You see, I like people to be honest. Because I don't belong to any of their camps.
So
That's
there
why I
are
can come
camps.
out. There are camps,
already.
and you know it as a journalist.
No,
Please,
no,
excuse
no,
me,
just
please.
a moment. I'm asking that question again. No,
I
just a
don't-
moment, Dr.
I don't-
Debowale.
I don't
I'm
like
asking
this
you against the background of the State Executive Council. That's why I'm asking you. There are camps there.
Oh God, please. You see, if you want me to become to your
Very well.
if you want me to become
Dr.
your-
Debowale,
let
just a
me
moment.
explain.
Please do. Go
I
ahead.
don't like
Go
it.
ahead,
I
please.
don't like it.
Make your explanation.
Your program is the only one I'm attending.
I understand.
About 2-3 weeks.
I understand.
Many of these so-called journalists are illiterates. I'm sorry, I have to say this. You see, the way you cast your... I was a staff reporter with African Guardian.
Dr.
1992.
Debowale, I understand. Your
Please.
point is well made.
I'm
You
saying
just
that-
said from the camp of the deputy governor.
From the
And,
camp of the
and why
deputy
I
governor.
asked you the follow-up question is
Please.
to know if the State Executive Council is not one anymore.
It is not, and you know it.
So let's face it.
You know it, please. I said, don't waste my time over what you know. If the state executive council is one, will the deputy governor not be in those states acting? Will he be in Abuja? Why are you pretending? Why are you pretending?
I am to ask you a question.
You are a journalist. You should not sit in your studio and be waiting for news. Why are you not asking for the reason for his absence? Is he also sick? Is he also sick?
Dr. Debowale, we are still
Has he been impeached?
we are still
And
coming
so
into
is-
the body of
and-
this
and
program. So let's take it one by each.
No, that's what I'm telling you. That look, stop wasting people.
Let's take it one by
You
each.
know that
You have made
among
it.
them-
You have made an
among them,
allegation.
There are 3 or 4 camps.
Okay then.
There are 3 or 4 camps. Those who want to contest, there are about 4 or 5 of them who want to succeed Aketi.
Okay.
In 2025. And there are those who don't even want to wait till 2025. They want him to die even now, even this morning. The calculation is he must die so that he can, get into his office. So there are those who are queuing behind all of these people. There are those who, feel shortchanged because of palliative committee. So will I come here and tell you that there are no camps? I'm saying that look, it is a great disservice to the people of this state for anybody to still be talking. Look, the Aketi that I know is recovering. He's sick, but he's recovering. Is there any file that he has not attended to? They are unfair. These commissioners are unfair to Aketi. So this idea of coming to sign vote of confidence, work or resign. Work or resign. That's the way it should be. That is the basis of my hunger. Work or resign. You can't be collecting salaries, collecting running grants, be using the office as commissioner, as special advisor, as SSA, and you're not working. And I say everywhere is silent. Why? Has anybody closed your office? Has anybody closed your office? The casual workers employed to be clearing the road. What happened to them? I had to call the woman in charge of what's the name of the company? I don't want to mention the name of the company online. I had to call. What exactly is the problem? What is the problem? Are you being used by the opposition to create? Is there any big debris on Arakale and anything now? Do you know what people were doing? Some will come from their various estates and come and be dumping. Arakale is not even a normal market, but of course it is conventional now. We allow people to sell, but people who they have now turned up a part of that place, and not Jauba, to a place where they dump refuse. Is that permissible? But are you the one to do that? Don't you have the commissioner for environment? You don't have the permanent secretary for environment? You don't have all of these people? You have these agencies? Assuming Aketi were to be around, will he be the one to be cutting the grass? Are people not getting paid? So why do people receive money for work not done? That is my grasp with them. So I don't think that we should palliate it.
Of course, I'm glad that the question came and you've been able to tell us that it's not just 2 camps but even 4 camps.
There are more than 4.
More than 4. So then it's very important. The
I belong
question
to a camp.
came.
Let me quickly tell you,
okay
I belong
then.
to one camp.
Okay then.
My camp is I came with Aketi from Ibadan.
Okay.
And that has been my problem with all of them. They don't want to see my face. They don't like what I do. I don't hold them any explanation for what I do. I hold my principle. And the people of Ondo State, I work freely among the people. That is my big joy. I work freely. I don't go with any policeman or any. I drive myself here. I enter any supermarket. People greet me. I've discharged. At the end of every month, from my sweat and my people, my team, the state makes almost 100
Who
million
and
naira.
who are with you in this camp?
Oh, No, my camp.
Yes.
I'm a home man.
Okay,
Nobody,
okay.
nobody
So it's just you in your own
Yeah,
camp.
I mean,
All right
my
then.
camp. Major is my camp.
Why-
And
why-
my team, special task force.
Just a moment, Dr. Debo, are you not bothered, Mr. Adetorami, that just like I told Dr. Debo the other time, that we take these issues one by each? It therefore seems, some people have also been asking, that the governor of Ondo State is not on ground in the state, the deputy governor is not on ground in the state, chairman of local government have not been elected, no councillor, and so on and so forth. Aren't you bothered about what exactly is going on about governance in the state?
To ask me whether I'm bothered is an understatement. Everybody is bothered. Every right-thinking Ondo State indigene, every discerning citizen of this state is bothered that politics is being taken to the level that is beyond consideration for people. Anybody can be sick. You cannot blame the governor for being sick. He's not the creator of himself. Anybody can be sick. The fact that the governor is sick today does not mean that we should be playing politics with that sickness from whichever camp that is in Ondo State. We have to know that we have the cardinal duty to make life more meaningful and bearable for almost 5 million Ondo State indigenes. You are just understating what is happening. Right now, as we have in the state today now, the governor is not around, the deputy governor is not around, the local government chairmen are not around, and these are centers of authority. I know we have commissioners, we have special advisors, we have senior special assistants that are working. Some of them are working, and if some of them are not working and they are politicizing everything, it is their game. But all what I know is that every Ondo State indigene is bothered. Take a look at federal appointment. Take a look at things that are happening in the center. I mean, we are not represented. We are not adequately covered. People see Ondo State as a kind of pariah state now, and it should not be. If the governor is sick, the onus is on everybody under him, from the deputy to every other person, to be working assiduously.
Okay.
To make sure that the situation should look as if nobody is sick.
Yeah, that's the time you did talk about. I'll come back to you, Dr. Dewa. You did talk about the issue of checks and balances the other time.
Yeah.
It's really spot my interest. Now, it seems therefore that these checks and balances perhaps are not really working. For instance, why should there not be somebody to put a check to whatever it is going on? The deputy governor is supposed to be in the state to act as the governor in the absence of the deputy governor. I mean, of the governor. But in any case, even if he's not acting, he should be here as the deputy governor. Why is the House of Assembly not taking a stance on this matter? Is it that nothing can be done?
Your question has partially answered the question rightly again. Because it seems as if the kind of federalism we are operating in Nigeria now is a caricature federalism that does not work according to the spirit and letters of federalism. Mind you, in a presidential system of government, we're supposed to have clear-cut separation of power. And apart from this clear-cut separation of powers, we need to have checks and balances. Also, whereby one arm of government will act as a check on the other, we correct the other. If there's any anomaly, we quickly point it out and be working towards way of making sure that that anomaly is erased for the betterment of the citizen. But here we are, not only in Ondo State, that is what permeates the entire federation. You see a situation where members of House of Assembly in different states of Nigeria, they are a kind of tie to the April string of the chief executive. Right from the presidential to the governor, that is what you see. Even if the governor does not control them directly, they subject themselves to self-control. Just like some newspaper houses and self-censorship, without being dictated to do it. So these are things that work against smooth running of government. These are things that work against service delivery and the deliverables being enjoyed by people.
I understand that Dr. Dobale has just a view, his own view on that matter.
Let's hear Dr. Dobale's view on that.
Let's quickly.
I always want to tell people that when you talk about our government, it is true that we run the executive style, the presidential system. But it is also true that there are workers whose tenure are governed by statute. These are career civil servants. Career civil servants, you see, it is just that everything has been destroyed. A permanent secretary should not take any instruction from a so-called commissioner or a special advisor, or senior special assistant that runs contrary to civil service regulation. But what you have is not the case. So you don't blame if, for instance, by what you call a friction of time, the tenure of the local government chairman expired. There are permanent secretaries. These are trained civil servants. Politicians, more often than not, those who have as chairman may are not even attended any school, or they will go to one special center, or somebody sat for them, somebody wrote school sat for them. But they are there because of politics. They are not the best. Appointees are not the best in the state. So I like to quickly make that clear, because there are things that are statutory. Payment of salaries. You don't need anybody to tell you that once the advice has been signed by the chief executive, the governor, that duty has been discharged. The next person, the commissioner for finance, must do his own. The permanent secretary, minister of finance, then accountant general. Then you get paid. So you cannot, in the same breath, say that the governor is not working. Once you have the commissioner for works, once you say, okay, we are doing the, and of course, you can't construct any road unless it is appropriated for.
Very well.
And once you do that, you present your budget before the House of Assembly, and they scrutinize this, and they set it back if they have an input. Then once it is passed into law, it becomes a law. If you breach that law, it is actionable. Even if you are not the governor, it's just that the governor and deputy governor can only be removed through the stipulated provisions of the law. Other civil servants, other appointees are sanctionable once you act against that law. It is a law. It is there. You know? So once your duties are statutory, once your duties are well defined, you don't need the presence of one man. You don't need it. And of course, the law is so clear as to what the deputy governor can do. Is the deputy governor, yeah? But as effective as our law is, it is the law today that he can only act in accordance to what the governor wants him to do. If the governor does not direct him to act, he will just sit in his office. You know, if I ask you to mention the names of some deputy governors in the country today, you will not know. You will not know. Because they are not like Aketi, who will allow his deputy governor to be visible, so that the person will now begin to think that he can usurp his power. You cannot do it.
Is it safe to say from your submission that the governor has not been given directive for the deputy governor to act in his absence now?
Only the governor can answer that, because I'm not the governor now. I'm not the governor. I know the governor gave me certain directive even before he took it, and this is ongoing. Okay. He has not asked me, okay, stop. The last time he and I talked direct instruction was during the fuel crisis. NNPC, was pretending that he did not know about the fuel increase. When that corporation was actually the one behind the subterfuge. So he told me that I should ensure that I sealed all filling stations trying to make things difficult for the people. Direct instruction. Direct. And he called the then CP to ensure that I was given the support. That is verifiable. Then the following day, when the NNPC now came out with a statement affirming that, they are the ones who came out with it, he sent a message again. High priest, I think this is from NNPC. And he said, don't go out. Like that. He directed that my team must be on Arakale and Ojoba axis permanently. That's why we are there Monday to Sunday. Okay. Not only to clear the road, but to watch out for those 419 guys and those disturbing the traders. We are there. If we have any challenge, we call it.
So Dr. Devoli, what led us to this issue is the question as to why is it that the governor is not around and his deputy is not around, and the house isn't saying anything about that. It seems that there's nobody to put to check
But
this issue.
I'm even saying that, you see, those who want the house, what do you want the house to do? Because you say, oh, the governor is not around, everybody's suffering. Hustlers are suffering. Hustlers are suffering. Those who go to collect money, those who invite governor to their wedding parties, to their children's naming ceremony, they are the ones suffering. They say, hey, Akure is sad now. Everybody, are you sad in Akure? You have been paid. I know you have been paid. I know. So what? In what ways? In what ways? Aketi didn't choose to be sick. The last time I was in Ibadan, I wasn't able to see him. I tried to. I wasn't able to see him. I wasn't able to see him. I don't tell lies. I wasn't able to see him. You know? But I just spoke with the Commissioner for Information just this morning. Who told me that, high priest, Oga ti sign file me for Alira Ishishensi, talking about, because even she has been facing a lot of challenges considering, you know, her ministry. Oga ti sign file me. That tells me something, that a dead person did not sign a file. And she could not have been telling me that the file had been signed by proxy, as people wanted to know. That's why I talked about camps. It is what they wanted to see. One journalist called me from one radio station in Lagos. I'm sorry, I like to say this. That's why I stopped talking to any journalist. I don't like my face on the radio on this thing. I started out as a journalist too, 1992. 1992, African Guardian. I was a line editor. So what's so special about all these things that people do that as if they don't even understand anything again? You called me. I didn't beg for interview. I didn't pay for any slot. You were asking me about my principal, of course, either my principal or my headmaster. Akiti is the name. Then the next thing you are saying, just like, you know, most of you do, you don't ask questions. Now you bring your opinion to the table because you have been given some money, or maybe you are waiting to be appointed as something. Somebody is using you. How is that?
That could be that could be an hasty generalization, Dr. Levo.
No, it's not. I said some of you. I didn't say all of you.
Okay, then.
I said some of you. Many of you. There is some funny element in one so-called national TV who will even be asking you questions as if you are on any inquisition. Are you going to beat me if I don't come? You are not going to beat me. Are you going to? The worst thing is, I can say, go home. Tom, I'll go back to my charge and bail. So this guy called me, saying, do you people think you are fair to the people of Ondo State? And he was calling from Lagos, Cruise FM. Say, are you being fair to the people of Ondo State? That the governor said, I don't understand you. You called my line. I didn't give you any line, any number. You must have collected this from somebody. Are you fair to me to be insulting somebody who is as old as your father? Let's start with that. If you cannot insult your father, so don't insult me now. Are we quarreling? Now, the next level is, you don't want to avail yourself of the benefits of modernity. You stay in Lagos, you are asking me questions, and I'm in Akure. Don't you see it as odd? I'm not in your office physically. You act as a journalist, and I respond. Don't you see yourself as a hypocrite? Why are you not asking me to come to Lagos now to come and sit with you? And you are not asking me about Jide Sanwo-Olu. I say, you should have asked me about how Sanwo-Olu built the Blue Rail at about 10-15 times the cost of what it was built at Ethiopia. And now see whether that your station will not be having problem with Jide Sanwo-Olu. Why do you choose to insult because you work for PDP? I told that. Yes, I know you.
All right, Dr. Debowale, you did say something the other time. The last time you went to Ibadan, you couldn't see the governor, apparently because he was resting or something.
Yeah, I could not see him.
For whatever reason it was.
He was in, I could not.
Of course, that's why I said for whatever reason it was.
I spoke. Let me quickly. I'm on here. Okay. I don't want to be misquoted.
You're not misquoted.
No. I know the way of these people.
Okay.
Because I know. I precisely could not see him. He has been flown to Germany. I have not said so. I went to Ibadan. I called the ADC because usually when I go like that, I like to know that I will say, I don't waste my time. I like to know, and I have been going to that house before he became the governor, so I shouldn't be a burden to them there. So I spoke with the younger sister who said she had gone to Orogun, that she was not there at present, that if I could wait, I had no time to wait. I was going back to UI staff club to drink. So, and I called the ADC. ADC said, ẹ̀gbọ́n mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ jáde mo lọ sí tòsí. Can I see ẹ̀gbọ́n? He said, maybe later in the evening. So that gave me the way that he was in, but I could not see him.
Okay, your point is well made. So perhaps he was resting. Your point is well made. So then the question is, just like you and every other person will be eager to have the governor back in Ondo State. The people of Ondo State would like to know, do you have an idea? Maybe in the next 2 weeks or whatever, perhaps he will soon return to Ondo State. Do you have an idea?
I will not be, be boxed into a corner to say, oh, Aketi is coming. I'm not his doctor.
Okay.
His decision to stay in Ibadan was not mine. If you want to know, talking about direct instructions, when he came and he met all of us, he called us to Ibadan. All of you were there too. On that Saturday, I was expecting him to return on Sunday or Monday, and I'm on here. From our discussion, from what he wanted us to do. I had told my deputy now, Major, in Deputy Governor's Task Force, I had told him to mobilize our friends, the Okada riders, as against Tuesday or Wednesday. Yes, I had done that.
To welcome the governor?
To welcome the governor, because he said he would come. He was, eager. He was happy being home. He went to his personal office. He sat on the chair. He was joking people. He was even pointing at me, you, because I abused somebody close to him. Maybe that one reported me. That one was being free.
So you had this inkling that he would be coming very soon.
Yes, that was the body language. Because he see even said, "Kid in Shembi." When I went to see him on a Saturday, he said, "Kid in Shembi." So that I ought to have returned. Kini was in Shembi, and he said the same thing to Naomi, his PA. Naomi Olabode, he said, Kini was in Shembi, Kile in Shembi, Kile in Shembi, Kile won Lewajadi. So I had that later, medical doctor, politicians, members of his family, those who have control, took over. From that time up till now. So the last time I had a direct input concerning his movement was when we had that talk. So the issue of where he was staying before he traveled now came, because he had issues with sitting for too long and not moving. He had issues at that time with attending to so many people at the same time. He would be drinking water constantly and stuff like that. So his security, I would not say much about the security aspect. Those ones, they advised against the presidential lodge he was using, a 2-bedroom apartment, that any strong man would not mind staying in. He said that place will not be conducive because you'll be going up and down to come and meet people. That was the genesis of the whole thing.
Perhaps if he had decided to stay in Owo, his country home, would it have doused this tension?
Very much
different
so.
from Ibadan.
No, very much so. But Owo is not the capital.
Very well. But
and the people of this state are very interesting people. They are very active.
Okay.
Politically, they are not credulous. Once they believe you, they support you, they follow you. The moment you give them a hint that you are taking them for a ride, you'll be in trouble. You'll be in trouble. My first 6 months here was tough. They brought it Jebu, but when they now saw that I was slaving away, they would meet me in the rain. I'll be clearing the drainage. They will meet us clearing debris at Oshila and all of this. Then they now saw, and we are not making money from them. We are not collecting money from members of the public. So they now say, these ones are different. So if Aketi had gone to Owo with the little face off that people thought he had with Deji of Akure, because you are journalists, you read a lot. They like say, it's because of this Isiko and Akure issue that people were trying to make a big issue of. That they are moving. You say before they say everything is a war. That came up, and when they discussed, to me, it's neither here nor there. The whole of Ondo State is our own constituency. but talking about his health. And for those who are making, who hope to make a lot of mileage, I can only wish them well. Everybody has his time. You will die at your own appointed time. If you think that his death will be the platform through which you can achieve your aim, good luck to you.
Well, I've taken so much from you, and deliberately so, because you are part of that administration, and we need to really hear that much from you. Now, Mr. Adetorami, I'd like to know what do you think should be the disposition of the people in also supporting government in all spheres? Because if you keep saying yes, the governor is not around, we keep saying things are not going on all of that, how about people who are also not performing their civic responsibilities? Is it also because the governor is not in town?
Can you define the civil responsibility that you...
Very many. Okay. For instance, payment of tax, that's there. For instance, those who also go about disposing refuse indiscriminately, that's also wrong. Those who are also scaling the hurdles of the road divider in Ojaoba, and so on and so forth. You see all of these things every day. So is it also because the governor is not around? Or is it the failure of those who are supposed to enforce the laws?
Definitely it's the failure of those that are supposed to enforce the law at every point in time. Even when the governor was around, all these vices that you just enumerated, they were the order of the day. They were the rules rather than the exception in most cases. So I will use this opportunity to still appeal to the people of Ondo State that, as I said earlier, anybody can be sick. Everybody prays for quick recovery for the governor. People should go about their daily activities and businesses and be trusting God that very soon the governor will return. But at the same time, let there be no friction from the political class as we continue to see. Because friction itself has its negative consequences, on the psyche of the people. People, because of the economy of Nigeria now, people are hopelessly helpless and helplessly hopeless. Not only in Ondo State, in the entire 36 states of the Federation. It is very easy for you to want to transfer aggression. You want to see the next person as being responsible, for whatever challenge or challenges that you are going through at any point in time. So for the people of Ondo State, let them keep calm. Let them be prayerful for the governor to return. But as I said, that friction must be brought to the barest minimum. Not all of them understand the workings of government. Not all of them know the relationship between the governor, the deputy governor, and members of the state executive council. So from that quarter, they should be able to douse the tension, manage the situation, send message of hope to the people that all is well.
Yeah. Are those calling for the invocation of the doctrine of necessity? Are they really in line with what should be done at a time like this?
Every manner of call will come at a time like this because people are depraved. Because people are going through harrowing experiences. People will call for many things, but the will of God will prevail at every point in time. That is my belief.
Now, you are a lawyer, so I like to also know your view on that. So many groups have been coming up to issue statements and releases everywhere and there on this subject matter. In fact, some are calling for the invocation of the doctrine of necessity. Some are saying it's time to get the deputy governor to be acting since the governor is currently not on ground. Is it the current situation? Is it enough to call for the invocation of the doctrine of necessity?
No, I'll say that when you practice democracy, you expect people to call for anything. But those who say, groups, they are not groups. They belong to one political platform. Lucky Ayedatiwa's platform. They are not groups. And you give it to me that I've been in government for about 7 years, so I have my information. No groups. Lucky Ayedatiwa. Then the other group that pretends to be supporting Aketi, they are also for either Wale Akintoyewa or those who are not bold enough. Igbason wants to contest. He pretends he's a pastor.
Don't use harsh words on any point.
No, I'm saying I say he wants to contest. He should come out.
Okay, then that's your point. That's your point.
Wale Akintoyewa wants to contest. All of these people, there are about 5 or 6 of them, and they have those who work for them. They also have their groups. So you see, any member of the public may be easily confused, misled into believing that a group is heterogeneous. It's a lie.
Okay.
It's a lie. Doctrine of necessity. You see, the law is so clear, as imperfect as the constitution is. If the governor is in a state in which he is unable to discharge his responsibilities, and this is not a subjective thing, according to the constitution, then the House will institute a panel of experts, medical experts, not opinion molders, medical experts who must ascertain whether indeed he is fit or not. And in this team must be the personal physician of the governor. And since what they are going to submit will be objective, they are talking about science now. The medical record. Oh, is he terminally ill? Can he speak? Can he see? Does he still have his mental faculty intact? Is he able to read files? And is he able to give instruction? He's not. The governor is not expected to be doing, to be carrying cement, bags of cement. No, that's why he has those. He has appointed. So, if you're unable to, if the panel comes up with, but look, this man cannot do it again, then of course it goes. They're talking about the deputy governor the deputy governor is in office. He gets paid. He has not been removed. The House of Assembly came up with some 14 allegations. They are still on it. He has not been removed. It's just that the governor is not asking him to do A, B, C, D for him because of trust. It's an issue of trust. This is not the first time. The governor took ill about 2-3 years ago, and he was managing himself. He was traveling, and the deputy governor was acting, and there was no issue. The only time this problem came was when they started, floating his obituary, and they traced the obituary to the media aides of the deputy governor. Started, talking about he was not going to come back, giving him till March. These are the issues. People are just being mischievous. They are wicked. They never thought that he could come back.
So, in your opinion, all of these have not called for an invocation of the necessity.
Those who are now agitated, those who are desperate, are those who were working with some members of his family, who were getting information from within, and who were misled into believing that he had leukemia, and they got opinion from people to know whether anybody with leukemia will live beyond 6 months or so, and they were doing their permutation based on that. They were deceived
into believing he had leukemia
by somebody in Governor Akeredolu's house, and I stopped that person from entering the government house again. I'm not talking facts. I'm not talking rumor here. I'm talking about what
I understand your point. I'm just
let me make it.
Okay.
Somebody who was giving Akeredolu his drugs, who was giving him his food, was the person used. And of course, they got the medical report, which was querying something about his blood. That was what they sold as leukemia.
So it is not that the governor has leukemia.
He doesn't have it.
Okay, then the point is well made.
So the governor is not incapacitated. I mean, I spoke with him. I will not tell any lies for anything. I will not. If I see Aketi today and I see that he's in a state in which he's unable to do anything, I won't leave him and say, "Go on, let from people." We will go. I will tell him, I don't benefit anything from. I'm saying I get my salary, I get all of this. But I'm not one of those who may be thinking of, because of what we are going to eat. What is it? No. Before we quickly round off, the 7.3 billion thing. Don't you see it as the height of, wickedness?
How did you know I was coming to that? but then let's be done with this first.
Okay, yeah.
Because, now you just said the invocation of that it does not call for it. Now the other leg of it is, you've made that point. Don't worry, Dr. Debowale. Now the other leg of it is, you yourself did say it, like many of us also know, that the deputy governor is not currently in town. Many have said he's in Abuja. Some even said he's in Lagos. There are many insinuations. You have confirmed that he's in Abuja. So is it that it is impossible, or is it proper for him to be out of the state when his principal is not in the state?
No, it depends on what he's in Abuja to do.
Okay.
You know, I mean, when Akiti was in Germany, he was permanently in Abuja now. He would just come here to do whatever thing and they will go back. The records are there now. It's part of what the allegations against him. He was in Abuja now. So it is not the first time. You know, it's just that people tend to play politics with so many things. Now, the system we play, I mean, we operate, is such that cannot engender development. And I've said this, it is not even about Ondo State alone. Since the Decree 34 of 1966 was promulgated by General Nrosi, we destroyed the real federal system that was in place before the coup. And when they killed him in July 1966, Gowon brought Decree 9. They repealed Decree 34, they brought Decree 9. The same thing. No state can develop. You cannot do anything. You just go and be collecting arms like beggars. So what you collect now, if what you get from the federal government is fixed, you are a click away. You check what comes to the state. How can anybody begin to manufacture figures? You know what goes as salaries, subventions, you know, what they use for capital projects and all of this. So you cannot steal government money.
Okay.
Direct. You can steal through contract. You overinflate. You collect money for troops not made and so on and so forth. No state can develop.
Okay. Now, your point is well made. Let's now, because of time, come to the issue of alleged misappropriation of over 7 billion naira. Some have said that it was spent by Governor Akeredolu, but a statement was issued on that issue by the Chief Press Secretary, clarifying that yes, the issue of palliative and all of that clarifies a contingency spending. But for you, do you think that this matter should have been the case if there was openness and meeting minds with the people so that they know what goes on per time? Could this have been the case?
I think I said something like this in the course of the discussion before, that the absence of the governor will make room for many things.
Precisely.
The good, the bad, and the semantically ugly, you know, as far as the running of the state is concerned. What I'm just advocating for now is that all parties should close ranks and work together for the benefit of the people of Ondo State, so that we can continually move the state forward. Because in this kind of atmosphere that we are, either whether some insinuations are genuine or not, I mean, you cannot properly verify or get to the root of the matter. You understand?
Okay then. Let me quickly start with the particular matter on this issue. Government came up with a reaction on this matter. Yes. You will agree with me that the Commissioner for Information should speak for the government. The Chief Press Secretary should speak for the governor. So why was it the Chief Press Secretary issuing a statement on that matter? And the explanations, if you went through that explanation in the press statement, was saying that the governor did not personally spend the money, but for this, and that. Now, it's causing a lot of ripples in many areas.
It shouldn't cause ripples. Let me quickly, the Commissioner for Information is in the U.S.
Okay, then.
As I talk. And she took permission to be in the U.S. to see the child.
Okay, so that necessitated the intervention of her.
She has not returned. As I spoke with her this morning, she's in the U.S. The Chief Press Secretary, see, when this administration started, I was, before the commissioners were appointed and all of this, I was the one issuing statements.
Okay.
Ordinarily, my office should be special duties, communications, and strategy.
Okay.
We removed the communications because of politics too. Those who thought that, politics of OSRC everywhere, those who thought they have brought this Ijebu guy to, they didn't know that. Like the federal government, you had the structure. You had Garba Shehu, SSA. You had Femi Adesina, SA. Then you had,
Lai Mohammed.
Lai Mohammed as commissioner,
as minister then.
Lai Mohammed will talk on policies. Garba Shehu will do, like the high priest. Femi Adesina will come and the gentleman, the president will be departing, the governor will grant amnesty and all of this. So you saw the crossover between me and Garba Shehu during the Fulani thing. When Aketi was going to be,
Let's make your point because of time. We are running out of time.
That statement made by Richard Olatunde, I read it just like another person. I'm saying that it is not enough. It is not enough. 7.3 billion naira, if it is true that the state had something like that, it is not enough. That statement is not enough. Who gets what? How?
And when?
And when? How did the House of Assembly give the approval? Because there is a benchmark. You can't go below. But of course, my further probe there was that the governor approved a certain aspect for the payment of the one month salary that was owed under the previous administration, so that this is an opportunity that we should not use it to eat rice, that those who were being owed should be paid, and that included even those who had retired. And that part of it, what the governor approved also, was that the old political office holders who were owed under the immediate past administration should be paid. And that those who served with Aketi during his first term, who had received, I think, half of what they call the furniture allowance, should be given
the balance.
The balance. That the governor approved that much, so that everything will not go for rice.
Okay.
The remaining members of the palliative committee must come out and state it. Well, this is what we do. This is why it is public funds. It is here. It is in this part of the world that we don't respect people. We don't respect people. I do Yondebo, for instance. I don't get excited over palliative because I hate the idea. I'm against it, but that is the policy of this government. Okay. But I want to also tell you that, look, I pay my tax in this state. I have my tax certificate. You can't tell me that, oh, you spend it. No, you should let me know. It's not your father's money.
How and on what they were spent on.
And finally, when they were sharing meat together, did they invite you? Now, who leaked the document, 7.3 billion? Is it possible for you to spend 7.3 billion naira in 3 months in this country when we run a cashless economy? These are the things. This is the quarrel I have with journalists. You should query these people when they want to drag you into their stuff. They are looking at 2024. All of them. They are now using. In fact, almost all of them will not mind if Lucky were to be removed and they will pick anybody. They will be so happy. That's why I'm not excited. It's not my business. Whoever becomes a governor, yes.
So, Dr. Deweba, more is still required in this matter.
Precisely.
The government must come out to tell us how the 7.3 billion.
I am very sure that as soon as the Commissioner for Information returns to the country, she will speak with the governor and she will come out.
Okay, then.
Look, whoever is government money should not be politics. Once you say that somebody has misappropriated funds.
I have to thank you very much. Dr. Deweba Ali, Senior Special Assistant to Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu on Special Duties and Strategy. Thank you for coming on State of the State. Thank you so much. And I must reiterate that I will always ask you hard questions the way you want it. And you always, of course, it's my job to ask you those questions. Mr. Adetayami, it's been nice having you on board again. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Everyone, I thank you so much for being part of the Outlook this morning. It returns next week, God willing. I am Sunday Kolawole. Please enjoy the rest of the day.